Hello and welcome to this afternoon or evening, depending where you are. Afternoon, evening time taste challenge. And I'll go back and watch the rest of the Bills Steeler hosting the Steelers game, Buffalo Bills hosting Pittsburgh Steelers games. 21-7. It was really bad, like I was like, I don't want to watch this, but we'll get this done. Okay, so this is Harwood Canadian. Goes back to the 1930s, but I never could get any firm information on when it started. Sometime after Prohibition, like maybe 34, they built this big distillery in Vancouver, Canada. And then it went out of business in the 1950s for some kind of reason, like a legal criminal prosecution reason. And then it got restarted in 1969, and now it's bottled in Kentucky by Heaven Hill. And it says imported and bottled by Duncan Harwood. Okay, well, Duncan Harwood was the original distillery. That's long gone for like 70 years and over 70 years. So that's just a shell name. It doesn't mean anything. It's Heaven Hill. I'll put the link below. Ronnie S. says, good evening, Ron. This sounds very interesting. Thank you, Ronnie. So this is Harwood's. It used to be called Harwood's apostrophe S. They redid it as Harwood. All right. I don't know where it's made. I know it's bottled in Kentucky. It's 80 proof. Back in the old days when it was on the market, like in the 1940s and 50s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, it was 90.4 proof. All right. It used to be 90.4, 90.2, something like it was above 90 proof. It was over 45% alcohol, but now it's just a standard 80 proof. Now here's the chant of Canadian whiskey. Crown Royal, the Canadian whiskey champ. Crown Royal Fine De Luxe. Fine De Luxe. Although if you look at the website, they got it spelled Deluxe, one word, Deluxe, one word. So they don't know their own product. Formerly known as Seagram's Crown Royal, used to say on the top Seagram's Crown Royal, but Seagram's is out of business. The brand's still around. I know they still make Seagram's ginger ale, Seagram's gin, Seagram's vodka, so forth, but the company is gone. So both of these are from companies that used to exist but no longer exist and got bought out and owned by somebody else. Okay, why take the S out, apostrophe S out? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Burley Sullivan says you. Okay, so Crown Royal was always 80 proof. Okay, it was never a strong. Now, there is a 90 proof Crown Royal Black. That's for another time, another day. Crown Royal, introduced in 1939. Now, I do know that. Wasn't sold into the United States. It wasn't sold in the United States until 1964, though. It's the most popular whiskey in the United States. And it's not even from the United States. Okay, so big handle. It's a big handle bottle too, but this one's plastic and this one's glass. Okay. And it's got a handle on it. That's why they call it a handle. Got a handle. Now, if you look at Total Wine's website, they say they use 50 whiskeys in this. 50 whiskeys. They used to say that on the Crown Royal website, but they don't say that anymore. I don't know why. Okay. There's a section called Whiskey Knowledge. Let's see what they're saying on Whiskey Knowledge. They're showing a different bottle, Crown Royal Deluxe, not Crown Royal Fine De Luxe. So do they have different labels or something? Oh, it's just a tutorial about whiskey. Okay. No big deal. Showing two different bottles of Crown Royal. That's kind of weird. That's really weird. Okay. Get off of that website. Don't need it. William Grimes says, I used to drink lots of Canadian whiskey and I never found much difference between Crown Royal and the cheaper ones. Yeah, well, I did an initial taste challenge. I did Duncan Harwood. versus Black Velvet. And the reason I did Black Velvet is because Black Velvet got bought by Heaven Hill and Harwood got bought by Heaven Hill. So I figured I'll put two Heaven Hill products up one against the other. And now I'm going into the Diageo products, and that should be very interesting. And then we'll move on to Sazerac products. And that'll take a while because I got so many Sazerac Canadian whiskeys. I don't think I have any left from Laird's. I had that Canadian Gold. I might have a little left. I can't remember. I don't think about this stuff all the time. I just think about it a lot of the time. But you know what I'm saying? No, I mean, but I poured a little too much. Let's correct that if I can. Didn't spill any. That's amazing. Okay. This was 44. Okay, so let's remember this handle was $44.99. $44.99. And this one was $14.99 at Dorgnac's grocery, Dorgnac's food center, what do they call it? Dorgnac's food center for $14.99, $44.99. Got that? $30 difference. Now, is it going to be $30 better? That's the question of the hour. I'm saying no, but we don't know that because I haven't done the taste challenge yet. Okay, so the Harwood's a little lighter. You can see that. The Crown Royal's darker, more amber. This one's just like pale gold. Doesn't look like they have coloring added, but can they have coloring added? Caramel color. Yeah, they can. Do they have to tell you about that? No, they don't. So whether they got coloring or added, I don't know. Could they have flavoring added? Canadian whiskeys. Yeah, they can. Do they have to tell you about it? No, they don't. See the pattern? Now, if you buy a Canadian whiskey and it says on the label, no coloring or flavoring added, or if it says natural color, natural flavor, okay, no, whatever, then you know. But they don't ever say that I've seen. So, yeah. I closed the shade because it's getting dark outside. No use letting light in because there isn't going to be any light to let in. Okay. Crown Royal is like Jack Daniels. Some people like to slag on it. Oh, I hate that stuff. That's trash. Macro, mass produced. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, it's terrible. I hate it. People don't know whiskey if they drink that, so forth. I know it's number one whiskey in America because they don't know what they're drinking. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, fine. It's kind of plain. I know it's getting cut out, the video of it. I mean, you can't see it right there because there's no room. Could this fit right here without falling off? No. Although I could pull this out. Yeah, what was I thinking? Okay, so there's Harwood. And there's Crown Royal. Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that before. All right. Harwood, Crown Royal, Harwood, Crown Royal. All right. From the 1930s. Got it bought out. Not the same. Probably still mostly the same. Okay. Cheap. Not really cheap. Aged 3 years, no age statement. Not popular or not widely distributed. Every liquor store in the world sells this one. Okay, so we got obscure and ubiquitous, which means it's everywhere. Okay. I'm going to mix it up some more because I think I glanced down and saw a darker product, and I do not want to cheat. This has a duck on the label. That has a pillow on the label. It's a nice pen and ink drawing. I gotta give them credit for that. It's really nice looking. Yeah, they have glass bottles. I didn't see the glass, so. Now, I could not tell Black Velvet apart from Duncan Harwood. I couldn't. I'm just telling you. The Harwood smelled and tastes, to me, identical to Black Velvet. But then I kept breaking it down. I was like, well, maybe this one's a little more bitey. And I remember Black Velvet being kind of bitey. And I did the reveal, and I had it mixed up. I couldn't tell them apart. It was the Harwood that was more bitey. So see, I didn't know. I was confused, to say the least. But I tried. This smells like really good, rich grains. Really good, rich grain. Now, not high alcohol, well, 40%, but you know what I'm saying. For liquor, no, me, not that high alcohol. That smells so good. Okay, let's go over here. This one too, though, it's got some like whiskey saturated oak barrels. This one's just like rich grain. So on aroma, they're both big time winners. And if they're both big time winners, that means Harwood's the winner because it's only $14.99 and that one's $44.99. All right, taste. Medium bodied, mostly dry finish. Rich, sweet grains, mostly corn, little rye, mostly, a little bit of barley malt, maybe some wheat, same thing, same old thing. Does it taste like it has flavoring added to it? No, not really. It doesn't taste like it. It tastes like pure grain. Now, remember I said Canadian whiskey is allowed to have flavoring added. I didn't say it had to have flavoring added. That's up to them. If they want to add flavoring, fine. If they don't want to add it, fine. There's just a certain limit. They can't go above a certain percentage, but it's like American blended whiskey. You can add flavoring, but you don't have to add it. You're just allowed to add it. Coloring too. You can add caramel coloring. It's up to you. Add it, don't add it. Decide what you want to do. Oh, it smells good. Caramel, sweet, sugar, medium body, mostly dry finish, a little sweeter finish. Ooh. That oak barrel, that saturated oak. I said that in the nose, and I'm saying that in the taste. That's got to be Crown Royal. Can't no way. How can that be Harwood? Is there anything good to say about the Harwood? Yeah, quite a few good things. What about negatives? I mean, they might be negatives. I don't know what they would be. I don't know what they are. I don't taste anything bad about it. To me, it tastes fine. If I was looking to buy Canadian whiskey to drink on the reg, as people say, meaning regularly, there's your answer. I only bought it a month ago, 2 months ago. It was $14.99. Has the price gone up? I don't really know. I doubt it, but maybe. I would just buy it. I mean, I would if I'm saying if I drink Canadian whiskey on a regular basis. I don't drink any whiskey on a regular basis. But I'd rather buy that than pay for it $44.99. Sugar water. Whiskey always tastes like sugar water to me. All right. That's Crown Royal. It tastes way better. But not $30 better, Yep. Letter C. Crown. Yeah, it's Crown Royal. Could you really confuse them? Nah, I don't think so. You can't confuse the two. This one is a lot better. Although this one is good. See what I'm saying? It's like this is good, but this is way better. I think a good whiskey is a wet basement aroma. A wet basement aroma? Says Craft Beer Tastic. I don't know what that means. Okay, but I don't have a basement. We don't really have basements around here. New Orleans does. I don't know how they don't flood, but in some high-rise buildings. But houses around here, no, they don't have basements. But they do now in North Louisiana. When you get away from the Gulf, you get in the hills of Louisiana. Yes, they have hills in Louisiana. There's a hill that's over 400 feet tall. Over 500 feet tall. When you're up on the top, seem like you're on a mountain, but you're not really. But it's close to it. But yeah, so they have basements up there, because it's bedrock, and like that, So, but around here now, no. Oh man, Harwood is a winner, but not tonight. Sorry, can't beat Crown Royal. You say, well, there's a lot of Canadian whiskeys Crown Royal can't beat. So, yeah, but that's not what this video is about. This is about Crown Royal versus Harwood, and I think Harwood's actually been around longer, not much longer. But so, not the current Harwood, you know what I mean? Not the modern Harwood that's been around since '69, but the original one, yeah, before Crown Royal. But like I said, they went out of business for like. It was off the market for like 17 years, something like that. All right, so it's wearing the crown because it's the king. The king of Canada. I admit I never did a direct comparison. Maybe I would have noticed more difference. That is a very important point. The only way you can really tell is you got to do a blind taste test. Is it difficult to do? No, not really. All I did was put tags below the glasses. They got letters on them to indicate which is which. And I got them small, so it's not going to tip me off. They're both white with black lettering. See, I know some people that put like a red tag and a blue tag. And they drinking the beer or whatever. I'm like, you can see that's a red tag. You don't want variables. You want it consistent. You want control. How hard is it to take a white piece of paper and put a little indicator on it, like a letter, and cut it out and tape it to the bottom of the glass? It's not hard at all, Sheet of paper. Put your indicator on there. It could be a code, like a letter, or the name of the product. But then if you got one that's a long name, the other one's a short name, and you glance and see it's short, you're going to know what it is. So I got the squares the same size. See? White paper, black ink, same size, same type glasses. You don't want variables. You want as few variables as possible. Variables lead to changes. Same glass. Both at room temperature. Pour the same amount. Same indicators. Mix it up really good, really good, really good, really good, where you lose track, you know. Don't be a cheater. Well, I would never be able to keep up much as I'm talking about this, that, and everything. If they got different shades, close your eyes, because the Crown Royal was clearly darker. You could see it's clearly darker. You could see that. I'm showing you right now. You could see this is gold and the Crown Royal is amber, if not even copper. That proves something. You know, I work with a guy and he's always claiming, I know my Bud Light. I know my Bud Light. I said, well, you think you know it. I said, but I got Keystone Light and I bet you couldn't even tell it apart from Bud Light. Oh, he tells me, you're crazy. You're crazy. And he told me, bring it over to my house. I got the Bud Light. You bring some Keystone Light and I'll show you. Well, I'm planning to do that. You know, I said, okay. Okay. Now, if he shows me up and I'm wrong, I'll make a video if he wants to do it. He's probably shy to do it. He'd probably be like, I don't want to be on video. Even though I could tell him you could be off camera and just hear your voice, you know. Hey, but if he shows me up, I'll say, hey, you got me. You know your Bud Light. But I don't think he's going to get it. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance, but I don't think he's going to be able to tell much of a difference. But he's game for it. He's game for it. He's game for it. So we'll see. Is Crown Royal actually distilled in Canada? Oh, yes. There's a distillery. It's in Manitoba, Canada, one of the provinces. The headquarters is in London, England, okay? The main office. But the distillery is way over there in Canada. They own different facilities around the world. Just like Sazerac in New Orleans. They got their headquarters in New Orleans, but they got distilleries Lewiston, Maine, Frankfort, Kentucky, Montreal, Canada. They got one in India. There's a distillery in India that they own. Makes Indian whiskey. So yeah, it's distilled in Canada. It's got to be. Wouldn't be Canadian whiskey otherwise. I haven't tried Bud Light for a year for some reason. Probably the same for me. Might have been 2 years for me. You know, I'm not looking to be drinking Bud Light. I'm not against it. I said, I'm not looking to drink it. I got Keystone 30-pack in my fridge. There's no way you're going to make me think that's worse than Bud Light. You are not going to make me think that. I got home from work. I was tired. I was on my feet 8 hours. You know, I was like, oh. I only sat down for a few minutes the whole day. I cracked open the Keystone Light. I said, man, this beer is superb, for a light beer, you know what I'm saying? Hello, everyone. So Scoggett, Tom says thumbs up. All right, so the winner, Crown Royal, as expected. And, Crown Royal Black is coming up next. There is no way, and you know this as well as I do, there is no way Crown Royal Black, the 90 proof, aged in charred oak, is going to lose to Harwood. That will not happen. That will not happen. It cannot happen. It's an impossibility. All right. Thanks, everybody.